Hey everybody, today I'm gonna give you a tour through this sketchbook, which took me 2.5 years to fill and finish. Actually, you can see there's a sticker on here. This is from way back when I still had a shop. I still really enjoyed this sticker here. And this is a Hanemühle 100% cotton watercolor sketchbook. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I have to say about it. It has this elastic here and it also has a bookmark thing. I never need this for sketchbooks, but it's there. So without further ado, let's go right into the sketchbook. So here you can see on the very first page, I have a collection of different things. So this is just the intro page. This is right after the cover here. And I noticed that these papers right here, I don't know if it's the glue or what it is, but you can't really paint that well on this side. This is normal paper, but just to set the intention for this sketchbook, I just put a bunch of stickers in here, and you can find a variety of Taylor Swift related things here. Obviously, this was started 2.5 years ago, and I was still a massive Swiftie until very, very recently. I'm not sure if I'll get into this, but maybe when we look at the Taylor Swift related art, probably I'll quickly mention that. But this is from Mirabila, I think. Then these are, I think, these and those two are from my friend Jen Fetzer, who's also in YouTube. I will, if I don't forget, try to link those. And the others are just random stickers that I had. So this is just the intro page. Now over here, this page was actually done a little bit later on. At this point, this is also an older page. I think I did this maybe a year or so ago. And this is a little bit more representative of what my style looks like now compared to the pages that are coming up. But I'm pretty sure that I had pretty big inspiration from Pinterest here, so I'm not sure how much I changed these. I usually, when I use somebody else's art as a reference, then I heavily change it so it's not stolen. But this is definitely inspired by some other people's art. I was just exploring different styles, and unfortunately, I don't remember where these are from. This was more of a casual thing, and this is also not the watercolor paper. I glued this in afterwards. This is on marker paper, and this was done with alcohol markers. But then here, I think this is the first page that I did in this sketchbook. I usually like to leave the first page or so blank so that I don't have the pressure of creating the first page right away. And so this page, I think, must have been the first one. This is also from a reference picture that I took myself. When I look at this, I see how much my style has changed. This was a lot more reference picture heavy and a lot more realistic in a way. I did this with gouache, and this is, I think the location must be a lake here in Austria. And yeah, I think it looks cute, but this is very far from my current style now. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So this, I don't know, is not my favorite page. It's not a terrible one either. This was meant to be an easy painting ideas for complete beginners, and I think it could have worked really well. I'm just not that happy with the color choices. I think I did this page first and then kind of wanted to match it. I guess it all comes down to your individual taste and whether you like those colors. I do really enjoy purple and green together. I just think that the purple and pink tones here are a bit too muted. I don't know what it is about this. I later on, after I did this, went in and did all these little doodles here around it with colored pencil because I think that made it look a little bit more fun and dynamic. And here I was already experimenting a little bit with the style. And then this one is just so far away from what I create now. I'm pretty sure this is Schloss Neuschwanstein, which is a beautiful castle. I've never been there, but the photos just look fabulous. And I did a somewhat realistic depiction of it, but still kept it a little bit loose. I'm not sure looking back at this how successful this is because the looseness kind of looks like accidental wonkiness in the windows and all that. But this was done so long ago, and I think back then I was really proud of it. I still kind of like it, but it's definitely not my favorite. Then this one here, similar style. All of these three here, the landscapes were done in one video. The mountains in the lake in Austria that I showed, then the castle and this one were done in one video. I don't know why I skipped this page spread, probably on accident. And this is from a photo reference that I took in Barcelona. I do really like this still, even though it looks completely different from my art now. But I like the way that I did the trees, and I recently tried to do the trees like this again, and it's not me anymore for some reason. But I also really like the way that I did the light here. So then this one is the one that I did twice accidentally. I did this in an older sketchbook, and then in here again I did it, and both were tutorials, I believe. And only after the fact that I realized that I had already painted pretty much the same thing. So yeah, this is fun fact. This is a little bit closer to my style now, though this is very simplistic in comparison, I would say. But my style is still developing a lot, so yeah, that's just an ongoing thing. These two, this page spread I did in Santorini when we were on vacation there, and this one was from a photo that I took, and this one was just made up. And I think you can clearly see that this was not from a reference. It's just a little bit collaged together, those things. But I do still enjoy those two. They give me obviously a little bit of nostalgia for our vacation. And there's also these little bits, I don't know how visible that is on camera, but I got some seawater in there on accident. I'm sure that's what happened, and then it created those effects. And it took a while for my paints to recover from that and not have any of the seawater in it anymore. I don't know why that happened, but yeah, it did apparently. And I learned a lot doing these types of things, that I can actually sort of collage things together, and that developed my style further. And this one was inspired, I think, from Minnie Small's sketchbook book. She has a book, I think she has 30 sketchbook. Yeah, it's called the 30-Day Sketchbook Project. And this is one of the pages in there. I just changed it a little bit. And this is actually cut out. So this is a collage. I don't really like cutting out things. I don't like the process of using scissors, so that's why I don't do collage that much. It might be because I'm left-handed and I'm using right-handed scissors, because that's how I learned it, but it just feels not that fun and not that natural to me most of the time. But here I wanted to try it. I was not overly happy with this one, so later on again I did these little doodles around this, and I think they really helped the piece look a little bit more fun and more like me. And this one I was really happy at the time. I still like it. I enjoy those brush strokes. I would like to explore this a little bit more. I feel like I've been saying this ever since I did that. This was also inspired by Minnie Small's book, and obviously that prompt was inspired by Van Gogh's paintings. And yes, you say that Van Gogh, I'm pretty sure, and not Van Gogh. I don't know where this abomination pronunciation came from, but I'm not gonna say it like that. And then I did this inspired by that. So yeah, it was a big mixture of things. And I think that was probably because my best friend loves sharks. I don't know if that had anything to do with that, but I really enjoy the way that this flows across the page. Then here we have a little bit of Taylor Swift. This is a combo of two songs. There is Long Story Short and Coney Island. Probably, I don't know if there's any other songs in here as well, but I wanted to do a simple depiction of that. I wanted to paint this big Ferris wheel with some ivy growing on it. And this, I think, is from the book Everyday Watercolor. Maybe this is definitely from somewhere as well. These were done so long ago. And this one I went back to recently as well. This was a very, very loose watercolor painting, but I don't think it was that successful in its looseness. I still struggle with loose watercolor paintings for the most part. It just never turns out nice for some reason. I guess I still have to practice these, but I just went back with colored pencil and refined it a bit, and I like it so much more now. This feels a lot more like something that I would create. And yeah, this is just a silly little doodle of a birdhouse that absolutely makes no sense the way the birdhouse works, but I guess it's still cute. And then behind that, it leaked through to the other page, so I glued that in here, and this was done on a separate piece of watercolor paper. And I believe that is just a demonstration that I did because my wife, then girlfriend, wanted to do a card for their mother who loves those lighthouses, and I showed them how to do this. I think that's how this one came to be. And these are also stickers from my shop. I don't know why I didn't paint anything on this page. I put those stickers in here a while ago, way before this book was close to finishing. So I don't know what happened here, but yeah, those are stickers. And then these are also, I did these so long ago. This was from Watercolor Painting Ideas. I still think that this is a really cool idea. For this one, I had a slightly different picture in my head for it, so I'm not overly happy with how it turned out. I think it's mostly the colors for me that don't fully work, and those grapes, they're just super random and they look a little bit weird to me. I don't know, but a lot of people loved that piece actually. And then we have this double page spread. I still really enjoy the colors of this one here. The colors here, personally, are way too bright for me. I don't know why I did them so bright here. This was my first piece with Prismacolor colored pencils when I got them, but I just played around with them here. And this was done with gouache, obviously. And then here I played with the Prismacolor colored pencils even more. And this was, I think, koi brush pens, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not overly happy with this, but I think it is a playful page spread, and seeing it together like that, it is really fun. And I enjoy the little faces on the different vegetables and fruits. This one is probably my favorite. It is just such a cute, and it's just fed up with everything, and I enjoy that. It reminds me of prairie dogs for some reason, because they also always make that face. And yeah, speaking of faces, here we have this. Yeah, I recently went back. When I did this page, I kind of finished and sort of fixed this page here. This was unfinished for the longest time, but I enjoyed the idea of this. I think it looks cute now. I don't hate it anymore now that I've done the line art and refined it a little bit. It is a really funny idea. I don't know, it is just silly, and I guess I like it now. Yeah, and this is just a play with the different supplies that I used. I used watercolors and then colored pencils on top, obviously, and this was really fun. And also, This is incredibly vibrant in real life because those are neon colored pencils. I believe they're already fading a little bit, even though it's in a sketchbook. Neon colors are just extremely fugitive, but it is still a lot more vibrant than it shows up on camera. Unfortunately, especially pink tones usually don't pick up as vibrantly. Then this might be one of the best page spreads in here, depending on your own personal taste. This was very popular on my channel when I posted this video, and this was done at the lake actually, and I started this in this semi-realistic style here, and then throughout I realized I don't enjoy this style. It's not fun to me, so I added all of these doodles here, and then I gave up on it anyways. And then recently I went back into it. I had already done these here, then I added them on the left side and did some more outlines, and I also added some little doodles here, and I just left this upper part the way it was, but with little line art here. I don't know if it is successful, but I could not be bothered to render all of the leaves on here in this style. It's just, it doesn't feel true to me anymore, and I am much more like this style now. I think even this is a little bit removed from what I do now just because it is evolving so quickly, but I enjoyed this one much more than doing these little details and realism, semi-realism kind of. I don't know why I keep going back to realism as if I have to. Sometimes it feels like I am a professional artist. I should be able to draw something very realistically. And yeah, I might be able to do that, but I don't enjoy the process. I don't know why I keep on doing that. I enjoy more this sort of thing. It could be improved, that's for sure. This is not the best, but this is definitely when I started to go into the direction of where I'm heading now. I played around a lot with this cartoony style, and I don't enjoy the colors on this page as much as I would love to. I don't think I like this orange kind of with the green as much, but I like the general vibe that this gives off. And then this one, I also recently went back and I just added the backgrounds here for the most part. It was a really messy page because a lot of this was done with the Neo colors, and it just rubbed off to this page, and then this page rubbed onto this page. So it was all over the place. It looked super messy. It still looks messy now, but it looks a lot better than it did. I colored some of the things here, but this is a very random page that I just did off camera. And then this one is from a coloring book. I just traced the outlines of this flower, and this one was from a different coloring book, I think. And then I colored them in with the Prismacolor colored pencils. And I enjoy the way that this composition looks, the way that this creeps over to this side. So maybe I will remember to do that a little bit more in the future. And this is one of the more somewhat recent ones. This was by this time done a while ago too, but this is from my most recent course. So I finished editing and all of that a few months ago, and now actually my courses are closing permanently. So if you wanna learn how to paint this with gouache, then definitely check out my courses immediately when this video goes up, because all of my courses will close doors permanently after December 20th, which is gonna be very soon when I post this video, like today or tomorrow. And after that, you will have lifetime access if you purchase before that. But if you don't purchase before that, you will have no option of getting them anymore. I am discontinuing all of my courses and my membership. My membership is gonna be closed when this video goes up. So the only way to get the courses is sign up immediately. And if you've missed it, then stay tuned for what I'll do in the future. But the courses are definitely gone. I did this with gouache, and it is a little bit glossy and it looks a little bit weird. That is because I put the Dorland's wax medium on it to protect it from rubbing off. And funnily enough, because I did colored pencil on the other side, now the colored pencil rubs off onto the wax medium. It is a whole mess. I wanted to protect the page, but I feel like I did the exact opposite, and it is just smudging in a weird way. I don't know what happened here, but I'll probably put a baking sheet or something in between. And this, like it says, is from Anchored Art Designs. It was a coloring page, and I colored this with watercolors, acrylic gouache, and colored pencil. I'm really happy with how this page spread looks. And then here's another experimental messy one. This and that was done a while ago, and then somewhat recently I did these little things just to fill the gaps. It's just a swatch page with some doodles added to it. Very, very random page. And then this one was also done on different paper. This is on watercolor paper, and for some reason I decided to glue it in here, and it looks much better in a sketchbook than it does outside of a sketchbook, I would say. I did this, I don't know, was that 1 year ago or so? I definitely talked about my burnout in that video. It didn't perform that well, which I get. It is, first of all, autumnal, and second of all, not the happiest topic. But it feels so far away now, this, just the way that I feel now compared to when I did this is very different, thankfully. And then this was one of the first videos that I did when I came back from my longer break. And yeah, this, I don't know, I thought that this was so good when I did it. But now I look at this and I'm like, what? I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to be too negative on my art, but let's just say that I can definitely see that I've grown, which is a good thing, and leave it at that. And now here's the Taylor page. Now looking at this, does this look like Miley Cyrus? I don't know. I don't know. It does not look that much like Taylor, but to be fair, in the reference picture, it also doesn't really look very much like Taylor. It's a very different picture where she definitely looks different than on her other pictures. So I did this when 1989 Taylor's version came out. Obviously, that's when I started this page. And then very recently, I went back in and I used an acrylic marker and colored this because this looked atrocious before. I don't know if I can find a picture of it, the way that it looked, but it definitely looked terrible. And now it looks a little bit better. I think this is the last Taylor Swift fan art in this book. And I was, like I said, a massive Swiftie up until a few months ago. I don't hate her now. I still like her music. I still listen to her, so don't worry. But it's just, I wanted to go to the concerts in Vienna, obviously, and obviously that did not happen. And let's just say that I was not over the moon with the response that we got for that. And it definitely burst my bubble a little bit. And I am now only listening to the music that actually makes me happy. So I think that 1989 is probably a good example of an album like that. Now we have a page that is completely different. This was done with Karen markers, and I still like the simplicity of this. It is cute, and I got distracted by loud noises, so I don't know where I was, but I think I was done with this page. And here we have a very cute page. I really love this one. This is a lot closer to the art that I'm doing now, I would say. This one is very detailed. I'm not sure how happy I am with the overly vibrant green, but I really enjoy this vibe and this style. I enjoy that there's so many things to look at here, and then the simplicity of this one. I think this is just one of those pages that give me joy. I really enjoy this little thing, and there's a bunch of Easter eggs in this one too. And then this is obviously a swatch page, a very simple one, and this one here was done with Karen markers as well. And I just love the way that these swatches look, honestly. These are the White Nights granulating watercolors, and they're just absolutely beautiful. I've been playing around with them a little bit more recently off camera, and I just really love playing with them. And then this is a very playful page too. That was started right around the time when we were considering our last name, because we picked a new last name. And yeah, if you want to know why I painted these, then you have to check out my video where I painted my wedding invitations, because I explained all of that there. But I do enjoy the way that this looks now. I went back in and did a few of those small doodles and the little sparkles and the line art and all that. And this is just a fun, playful page. And now we've already reached the last page. This was done somewhat recently. I don't know why I think this looks creepy now. I really liked it when I did it, but now I think it looks a little bit creepy. I don't know why, but maybe I'll change my mind again about this. You can see that I started this in August of 2022, and then I recently finished that at the end of 2024. So this took me 2.5 years to finish, and that means you don't have to be extremely fast with your sketchbooks. You can have multiple at a time. I have multiple, which is one of the reasons why it takes me so long to finish these. So don't worry if you have sketchbooks that you haven't finished for 5 years, you might still finish them. Just continue using them. Not everything has to be done in a few months. This is just one of my sketchbooks. If you'd like to see another sketchbook tour, then check out this video next.